Have you ever felt like you didn't belong, even around your own blood? Like you were born into a family that could never truly see you? The way you think, the way you feel, the way you carry pain that isn't even yours. It's like your soul showed up centuries ahead of the people around you. They laugh when you cry. They settle when you dream. And deep down, you've always known you're not like them. But here's the truth they never told you. You're not broken. You're not lost. You're chosen. And being chosen doesn't come with comfort. It comes with purpose. A purpose that feels like fire in your chest, like silence in a crowded room, like God whispering your name when no one else remembers you exist. Because in every family line, in every generation, there's always one. Just one soul bold enough, brave enough, awake enough to break the patterns no one else could, to carry the weight, so the others can breathe. And if this video found you today, it's not by accident. You were meant to hear this message, to remember who you are, and why you were born into that specific family. Because what feels like a curse is actually your calling. So stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to unlock the spiritual reason behind why there's only one chosen one in every family. And if you're still watching, maybe that one is you. Before we dive in, if your spirit is already resonating with this, click like, not for the algorithm, but as a declaration. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is your sign, and drop 99 in the comments as a prophetic number that represents the one God leaves the 99 to go after. Because you are that one. Now, let's go deeper. Let's be honest. Being the chosen one doesn't feel like a victory. It feels like war, a quiet war, invisible to everyone around you, but raging inside you. You're not just carrying your own pain, you're carrying the trauma your family never dared to name. You walk into rooms and feel energies shift. You sense things no one talks about. You see patterns, and know deep down, they stop with you. You weren't given this role because you were the strongest. You were given it because you were the most willing. Willing to confront what others run from. Willing to question what others blindly follow. Willing to hurt, if it means the next generation heals. You forgive people who never apologized. You give love where none was taught. You break habits that feel centuries old, and no one claps for it. No one sees it. But heaven does, because you're not being punished. You're being positioned. The isolation? That's God pulling you aside to sharpen you in silence. The delays? That's divine timing, aligning your life with something far bigger than comfort. The constant tension? That's the weight of destiny, sitting on your shoulders. Others were allowed to rest in dysfunction. You were called to rise through it. Because when God chooses someone to carry the oil, He also allows them to feel the crushing. That's what they don't see. They see your strength, but not your scars. They see your light, but not the nights you begged God to take the calling away. But He didn't, because He knew you wouldn't. Quit, and maybe you've asked yourself, why does it feel like I'm always the one under fire? Why do I cry over things no one else even notices? Why is peace so rare and the battle so constant? Because you're not just living for yourself. You're living for everyone who came before you, and everyone who'll come after. You are the bridge, the wall, the first of your kind. And there's something else you need to know. Something no one's ever told you. The burden isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of your awakening, and in the next few minutes, you're going to see why carrying this weight was never about surviving. It was about transforming everything that touches you. Keep watching. What's coming next might just explain the part of your life you've never been able to understand. Until now, let's talk about something most people run from. Divine isolation. Not loneliness, isolation. That sacred, silent space where everything familiar disappears. Where even those closest to you no longer feel close. where your own family looks at you, but doesn't see you. And maybe that's been your story. You show up with love, and they respond with distance. You speak truth, and they call it rebellion. You shine too bright, and they get uncomfortable. But listen carefully. You're not being abandoned. You're being set apart, because chosen ones are never placed in the crowd. They're pulled out of it. They walk different, think different, see different. Not because they're better, but because their vision stretches beyond the limits of the people around them. You can't carry a heavenly assignment and expect earthly approval. Even Jesus said, "A prophet is without honor in his own home." Even Joseph had dreams of royalty, and his brothers threw him in a pit. Not because he was weak, but because they could sense the crown before it ever touched his head. That's what divine isolation is. It's God removing you from noise, from patterns, from distractions, so he can prepare you in secret. Because before God elevates you publicly, he will always hide you privately. Think about it. The butterfly doesn't grow wings in the wind. It grows them in the dark, in silence, in a cocoon no one understands. So if you've been feeling like no one gets you, if you've been wondering why doors closed, why friendships faded, why your own family seems distant, pause. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. The isolation is not the end. It's the hallway between your past and your purpose. A sacred space where God does his deepest work, without applause, without audience, but with eternal intention. Because here's the secret. The greater the call, the deeper the separation. And maybe right now, you're walking through your own spiritual wilderness. You feel unseen, unheard, forgotten. But heaven hasn't forgotten you. It's forming you. God is crafting something so rare, so needed, that it had to be done away from the eyes of others. And when your time comes, when the cocoon breaks, when the pit turns into a throne, the same people who doubted you will have no choice but to witness the elevation. But before that moment comes, you need to understand one more thing. Something that might explain why you feel everything so deeply, and why your heart was designed to carry more than most. That truth is what we'll uncover next. And it just might awaken a gift inside you didn't even know you had. You ever feel like you're carrying an awareness that no one else around you has? Like while everyone else is laughing, you're weeping inside. While they're distracted by the world's noise, you're listening to a voice no one else hears. While they sleep soundly, you can't shake the feeling that something in your family is off. It's like you're living with a heightened sense. Every word feels heavier, every glance cuts deeper, every silence speaks louder. And the strangest part, you can feel things others can't even begin to notice. The way your sister's smile doesn't quite reach her eyes. The tension in your parents' voices, even when they say nothing's wrong. The storm brewing under the surface of your family's calm. You feel it all. You know it all. And in moments of crisis, when the world spins into panic, while others start to fall apart, you're the one who prays. You're the one who stands, eyes closed, knowing that there is something greater at work. It's not that you're immune to fear. It's that you have something stronger. A divine sensitivity that guides you when everything else around you seems chaotic. This, my friend, is not weakness. This is spiritual strength in its purest form. You weren't born to blend in. You weren't born to follow the noise of the world. You were born to be the lighthouse in your family's storm. The one who sees past the surface, who feels the tremors before the quake, who hears the quiet warning before the flood. God has given you a rare gift, a gift of discernment, of spiritual sensitivity, not to make you a victim, but to make you a protector. You can see the cracks in the foundation before they break. You can sense danger long before it's visible. And when the world rushes to the wrong answers, you'll be the one who points to the truth. Maybe you've felt the weight of this sensitivity before. Maybe it's been a burden more than a blessing. Maybe it's felt like no one understands the depth of what you're carrying. But listen carefully. You were chosen for this. Because the ones who feel deeply are the ones who can stand in the gap, who can hold the spiritual fort for the ones who can't yet see. You, my friend, are the divine watchman over your family. And when the storm comes, you'll be the one they turn to. But there's more to this story. More to why you were given this sensitivity. And when you uncover this secret, it will change the way you see yourself forever. Let's dive into the next layer of your calling. Because the reason you feel everything isn't just about you. It's about the legacy you're meant to protect. Let's speak the truth. Most families never dare to say out loud. Every bloodline has its shadows, cycles that hide in silence, patterns that repeat, generation after generation, like invisible chains passed down from parent to child. Poverty, that's accepted as just how it is. Addiction that's buried behind shame and denial. Emotional silence that echoes louder than any scream. Abuse swept under the rug. Dreams suffocated before they even begin. But then, a disruptor is born. A soul so different, so awake, so spiritually wired for war that it shakes the very DNA of the family tree. That soul is you. You're not here to continue what was. You're here to end it, to confront the strongholds everyone else avoided, to feel the pain no one else dared to process, to look at the mess and say, "It stops with me. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's lonely. Yes, you've questioned if it's fair, but listen, you were never meant to fit in. You were born to rebuild. And that kind of mission comes with a cost. It costs comfort. It costs belonging. It costs pretending that things are fine when your spirit knows they're not. But here's what no one told you growing up. You carry spiritual DNA that's been coded for transformation. What broke them won't break you. What silenced them will only make you speak louder. You are not just here to break chains. You are here to build altars. Altars of healing. Altars of restoration. Altars of truth, where lies once reigned. You are the first in your family to say, "I forgive, so I can be free. I won't carry what was never mine. I'll raise my children in peace, not fear. I will bless the next generation. With a new beginning, you are the one your ancestors prayed for, even if they never lived to see you. You are the answered prayer to someone else's silent cry. You are the reset your bloodline has been waiting for. And while others may not understand your journey, heaven knows exactly who you are. You are the warrior God sent into the middle of the fire, not to burn, but to pull others out, to turn curses into callings, wounds into wisdom, pain into power, and now, here you are, standing at the intersection of history and destiny. But there's still one final truth you haven't uncovered yet. A truth that explains why, even after everything you've survived, you still feel this pull inside your soul. A holy tension. A divine restlessness, because your story doesn't end with breaking, it ends with something far greater. And that final revelation is what we'll uncover next. They may not see you now. They may whisper, question, or even mock you behind closed doors. Why are you so distant? Why do you always choose the harder path? Why do you pray when everyone else laughs? Why do you feel so much? Why do you care so deeply? Why can't you just be normal? But here's the truth. The chosen one was never born to be understood in the moment. Because chosen ones live not for now, but for what comes after. While others seek applause, you've been quietly sowing seeds, invisible to the world, uncelebrated, unnoticed. But one day, those seeds will grow into freedom. Freedom your children will walk in without even knowing the price you paid. Freedom your family will taste without realizing whose obedience made it possible. You are not just making better decisions. You are breaking invisible ceilings. You are digging wells of wisdom, so no one behind you has to thirst again. You are clearing the land so future generations can build without bleeding. And when, they ask, why is our family different now? Why is peace finally our normal? Why do I feel so protected? The answer will echo through the bloodline like a sacred whisper. Because someone said yes, when it would have been easier to run. That someone was you. You are the fulfillment of ancient prayers, the continuation of a divine legacy. Your obedience is not just for today, it's eternal. The angels know your name. Heaven records your sacrifices, and God has not missed a single tear you've shed in secret. You are walking through fire not to be consumed, but to become the flame that lights the way for everyone coming after you. And maybe, just maybe, years from now, a child in your bloodline will rise with a fire in their eyes, a strength in their voice, and a peace in their soul. And they won't even know why. But you will. You'll know it's because you stood when it hurt. You obeyed when it cost. You believed when it was lonely. You chose purpose over applause. And the world may never give you a trophy, but heaven has already crowned you. But wait. Before we end this journey, there's one last truth you need to hear. One last moment that will bring everything full circle. Stay with me, because this final revelation is where everything clicks into place. If you've always felt different, distant, or deeply burdened, it's not because you're broken, it's because you were born for battle. It's because God saw the generations before you and decided enough was enough. He looked down, the line of your bloodline, and said, this one, this soul, this heart, this warrior will carry the shift. You are not a mistake. You are not too sensitive. You are not too intense. You are spiritually coded for the impossible. Yes, it's a lonely road. Yes, you've cried in rooms where no one noticed. Yes, the weight has nearly crushed you at times, but listen closely. You're not walking alone. Heaven has been with you since the beginning. The silence. It wasn't abandonment. It was strategy. The pain. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. The isolation. It wasn't rejection. It was revelation. Because those who carry legacy must first walk through fire. And you didn't just survive it. You're shining because of it. There is something about you that hell tried to silence before you could even speak. But you're still here. Still breathing. Still rising. You were chosen for such a time as this. So here's my final blessing to your spirit. May every curse that haunted your family bow to the light you carry. May your voice break generational silence. May your hands build what fear tried to destroy. And may your life become proof that God always saves the best warrior for the hardest battle. You are not just changing your story, you are rewriting destiny. And this world has no idea what's about to rise through you. If this spoke to your soul, if something deep inside you woke up while watching, I want you to comment right now. I am the shift. Not because you're seeking attention, but because you're declaring alignment. You're saying to heaven, yes, I receive it, I accept it, I walk in it. And when you do that, you don't just end a video, you begin a movement. So rise, chosen one. Your time is now. Your voice matters. Your legacy begins today. I am the shift. Type it, declare it, live it, and never look back.